What's going on off the charts? Welcome along to this video. As promised, here is private exclusive training with my good friend Ed Zimbardi that's going to show you an incredible strategy that he's personally using, where he has merged a manual trading strategy with the utilization of the EA trade ringer, and he's going to go over that now. But first, briefly, Ed's just going to give you a brief insight into him, who he is, his background, and what attracted him to economy. You know, this man has many skills and many opportunities he could have been involved in. So Ed, just give us an idea of what attracted you to economy, what brought you here, and what has you excited about this opportunity.
Sure, absolutely, Brent. Thanks, Susan and Brent, for having me talk to your group. So I got pretty excited about forex trading 10 years ago. A friend of mine was showing me how to do some trading, and of course the results just sucked me right in, to the point where I lost 50 grand. Poof, just like that. Because I was just trying to do what he was doing, but had no concept whatsoever about forex. Fast forward, I made it through. I survived my marriage after my wife finding out, and 10 years later, I get introduced to forex again. And when I did a little bit more digging. And it was an education company, and it also sent you signals. And strength was education more so than the signals, but I got sucked in again. I lost $300,000, and yeah, fortunately my marriage did also survive at that point in time. But it was humans that was providing the signals. It wasn't until I got introduced to economy with artificial intelligence and how expert advisors work, combined with education with our 16-year veteran, Mr. Steve Greger, that I had the confidence to really start trading again for real in a live account instead of just always testing things out on demo. So I started testing the TradeRinger software going back to the early days when we started, which is so long ago, like what, 9 weeks? 10 weeks ago. And I demoed for, I think, about 6 weeks before I finally went live. So my account just went past the 3-week official marker into the 4th week now on a live account. And I'm the type of trader that likes lots of action. So a few disclaimers right off the bat, guys. Number one, if you are ultra conservative and you enjoy watching paint dry, then just use TradeRinger in all the default settings and set it and forget it, because there's plenty of testimonials and results out there. Wouldn't you guys agree, Brandon and Susan?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
People are earning 3%, 5% a week. We all know
Safe.
results aren't typical. You know, previous results don't guarantee future results, but one thing we know for sure, just being on demo will never have real results until you go live. So you have TradeRinger, but you want to make a little bit more potentially with TradeRinger and position yourself. So basically, here's the mindset that I have, because you have to get your mindset right to have the right mindset to use this software if you're going to manually trade. Let me say that again, because it doesn't take much mindset to set it and quote unquote forget it, right? If you're just going to set it, you're in control of your settings. We know that. You can tweak your settings at any time. You can close out trades manually at any time, but we always want to make sure you understand you can set it all up and pretty much let it do what it's designed to do. And you could potentially do pretty well. We have plenty of results for that. But if your mind is not set right and have the right mindset going into pulling the trigger and making a trade, then you're not going to do well. So make sure your mindset right. Second is I look at TradeRinger as my mentor. It's artificial intelligence, meaning I trust that it's going to provide results because of the history that I've learned. Software's been around 2+ years. Had, I believe, 1 losing week. It's traded a lot more money than I have to trade with, you know, inside of accounts. So with all that being said, it's a pretty good sound foundation for my mindset, again, to trust that when TradeRinger makes a trade, I can implement my strategies. So here's the strategy. Excuse me. I'm going to use an example of a currency pair. When TradeRinger makes a trade, and let's say it's a buy, we all know who's watching this recording that 9 times out of 10, it's going to go immediately into drawdown. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not just because of the spread, but it's also because the market moves. And TradeRinger knows what it knows, but I don't know what it knows, but I trust it knows what it knows. So when it makes a trade and it goes into drawdown, we have this setting, and the default setting is 21 as a range. That means 21 pips it drops before it makes another trade, another buy trade. TradeRinger is what we call a swing trade trading system, trading software, EA. I manually trade and scalp within those swing trades. So how does that work? There's a buy, it drops, the default setting is 21 pips. My settings are not 21 pips right off the bat. My settings are 35 pips. I want to give TradeRinger room to breathe. The other thing that TradeRinger has set up is that drops a certain amount of pips. In my case, I'm going to use 35 pips going forward. And then what happens is you're in 2 trades, but then it drops again 35 pips. You got 3 trades. It will go down a maximum of 12 levels. You can set that to a million levels if you wanted. You're in control of that, which would be insane. You'd need a huge account for that. But I believe 12 levels is too much for me. And again, these are just my results, my settings. You're free to do whatever it is you want to do. I set mine for 6 levels because I'm manually trading, and I have seen, based on my results of my account, have been in demo mode. It's drawn down based on the lot sizes that I've chosen as much as 60%. 60% of any account size can make anybody become an emotional wreck, even if you have a good mindset. You still get a little bit nervous. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, that was when I had my settings set for 12 maximum levels. I had 2 currencies pairs simultaneously out of the 6 that I was originally trading, the 2 rings, go down to 10 levels. Now 10 levels is actually 11 trades because the first trade is not level 1, it's 0.
Right.
The second trade is actually level 1. So to get to 12 levels, it's 13 trades. I was at 11 trades on 2 currency pairs, 60% drawdown. All of that had to happen is one of the other 4 currency pairs start to do the same, and my equity protection was at 100% because I am personally prepared to add more money to my account to save it rather than letting the software hit equity protection like it did the very first week I started, and there was $400 gone on a $1,000 account. I had to start over with $600. I just felt like it was going to take too long to rebuild it when I could have, if it was a real account, add another $300 or $600 or $500 and let it continue to flow. That's just my strategy. So with all that being said, I switched the max levels to 6 levels. The other key to my strategy is, regardless of the size of the account, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, or anywhere in between, my fixed lot size is 0.01. What? I get people say, but Ed, your account's at 22,000, 23,000 as of this recording. 24,286 to be exact. Ed, 0.01? Yes, because I'm going to make more money manually trading than TradeRinger making its trades on its own and me watching paint dry.
So just for people, Ed, kind of to just catch up on what you've just said, basically, you're almost using TradeRinger's AI brain as a guide and its behavior to determine when to enter, when to exit trades. And also, seeing as you're using a level range of 35, if it moved 6 positions, that's about, about 210 pips, whereas that would be equivalent to 10 positions on 21 if the level range was set to 21. So in theory, it's still the same amount of pips the market is moving.
It is.
Less trades in play during that movement.
Less trades, yeah.
Less trades in play with my strategy, and at a smaller lot size for those 6 trades, it goes usually 0.01, 0.03, 0.05, 0.08, 0.12 usually, and then it jumps to 0.23, and then I've seen go to 0.41.
It's a 1.5 multiplier, so.
Yeah.
Right. It goes pretty quick. So if it's 120 pips, but the lot sizes are a lot less. If we did it the other way at 12 levels at 0.01 per 1,000, and you have a $20,000 account, you're starting out at 0.20, and at 12 levels, whew, I can't do any manual trading in between. So again, my strategy is strictly to use TradeRinger, as Brent said, as a mentor, as a guide, because I trust it knows better when to enter into a market trade than I do, and it is doing its cost averaging when it's dropping down pips and adjusting. So with that being said, here's how the strategy works. When we go from one level to the next, it has to go for 35 pips. So my first question, and since you guys are on live with me here, I'll ask you guys to give me some participation. Question is, either or. Does the trade go immediately after it enters into TradeRinger, enters a trade? Does it immediately drop to whatever the range you have set and open the next trade? Or does it float in between that range, up and down, 3 pips, 5 pips, 10 pips, back and forth, before it enters the next level trade? Which one?
Yeah, it could be hovering there for quite a while.
It could take 30 minutes. It could take an hour. It could take all day. It could take till next day.
Yeah.
So because TradeRinger made the entry and understands the market better than me, I take a larger lot size. So in my strategy, when I first started, 0.01 is the lot size. But I would enter a manual trade in the same direction that TradeRinger is running. So if it entered a buy, I would wait for it to drop several pips, and then I'd enter a buy. And when I had a small account, at first when I started, it was 0.1. Larger pip size, but I would wait for it to move minimum 3 pips, 3 to 5 pips, could go to 10 pips, 15 pips, which is within that first range of 21, or in my case, 35.
Yeah.
And I might make 5 trades, 10 trades before it hits the next level. And when I make those trades in and out, I'm scooping up $5, $10, $15, $20, $25.
So you're taking them and closing them in this space of time?
Yes. Now I know a question's coming. What happens if it drops and you're caught with that 0.10 trade? I'll get to that in a second, because I know that's the first question that got to everybody's mind. Let me digress for a second. For the average person that's watching this, what is your goal? So Brent, Susan, what would you say your team members have always said? How much do they want to make in Forex per day and make them happy? What would you say that number is, that financial number?
It's going to vary person to person, and
Yes.
we kind of speak, in terms of percentages as well, as opposed to
So across the board,
yeah.
What would you believe, based on all the responses you've gotten, the average Forex trader wants to earn X percent per day or X amount of dollars per day?
I would say $100 to $300 a day would make a massive difference in people's lives,
Perfect. So on just one currency pair, with a larger lot size, with your account protected with TradeRinger at 0.01, or if you have a 2,000 account, 0.01, or a 3,000 account, 0.01, it has room to breathe in drawdown. If you're earning $3, $5, $10, $15 a trade, how many trades do need to be made to earn $100? Not many.
Right.
And your conservative lot size as well is with the actual trade ringer is freeing up the necessary margin and equity you need to apply your manual strategy. So
in the event I get caught,
yeah,
and it drops down to the next level. So if I'm in a trade at 0.10 and it drops 35 pips, catches the next trade for trade ringer at 0.03, what's 35 pips? I'm down $10, $15 on that trade.
Maximum.
Okay, Ed, what if it drops another 35 pips? Well, I'm scalping in between because it didn't just drop right away most of the time. And I'm scalping another $5, $10, $15 on the second level from second to third level, right? And I probably made more than enough profit if I wanted to, if I was emotionally addicted to the outcome of what I see that I'm losing money on that trade. Couldn't I comfortably close out that losing trade because I made enough profit to cover it? Isn't that cost averaging what Trade Ringer does? But I just did it manually.
so if the market is in a downtrend, let's say it opens its second cost average position, it's a buy because it's in a downtrend. Is that the time you enter your scalping trade?
Yes. Now I'm talking about when the market's moving kind of slow. This is the first part of the strategy because usually 4 times a day the market moves. Twice a day it moves pretty quick. 2 times because it's 4 different markets, right? And usually it starts moving. And then of course when there's news, depending on the currency pair, it really starts moving. I personally love red folder news because the market moves so fast. I just sit there and watch my phone and it moves. And when it drops or goes up, depending buy or sell, it always hits a bottom. Do I know what that bottom is? No, but I monitor the 1-minute charts. That's the other part of my strategy. I'm monitoring the 1-minute chart, watching it fly up or down. And when I get a good feel when it hits, I enter that trade. So if it went in the wrong direction of the buy and it dropped 80 pips, and it hit 3 more levels of Trade Ringer making trades at very small, tight lot sizes, then I'll open a larger lot size.
So you're purchasing in the direction of the movement, the direction of the trend.
No, the opposite.
You are doing the opposite.
Just like Trade Ringer.
He's doing what Trade Ringer is doing, counter trending, yeah.
I will never trade against Trade Ringer.
Okay.
Because it's smarter than me. I'm guilty twice. I did do a trade, and then my emotions kicked in. Trade Ringer was in a buy, it's in another level buy, another level buy, and I said, let me do a sell. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but what if Trade Ringer was right and it jumps back to all 4 of these levels? Then I'm really stuck. And I'll have to manually close out for a loss. I was sweating bullets. I was like, oh no. It made profit quick. I got out of it quick, a couple pips.
So in your 6 to 7 weeks of running this in alongside Trade Ringer, you're confident in Trade Ringer's decisions and its predictions, and you kind of trust that and trade alongside it.
I have the 6 or 7 weeks of demo experience and now 3 solid weeks of live account experience for 9 weeks. And my results, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, I'm going to share my screen on my phone and show you, real live account.
And you can mark my words right here, everyone. I predict that Ed Zimbardi is going to be the first member of the eAconomy 6-figure trade club with his strategy on this current trajectory. Definitely.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Brent. But keep in mind, there's some people that started with accounts at 30 grand, 50 grand,
That's true.
And they're making 3, 5, 10% a week. They'll get there probably quicker. I did the math. I would need to do $1,100 in profit per day as of right now, starting as of July 1st to go the next 6 months back up. The next 4 months before October in the event in Miami, I'd have to do $1,100 and something in profit for 20 trading days per month to do about 90 grand to add to the 10 plus grand that I have to hit 6 figures to prove it and document it. I have to do 900 and change, I think, between the next 6 months to the end of the year to do it. So that's a little bit easier.
Well, and now this is coming from a very non-competitive person. You don't have to be first. It's just it's impressive how you're going to get there, and you're obviously going to get there.
And on that note, Susan, to me, the impressive part, and I'm not doing this to impress anybody. I'm doing it because I like to trade. I like the fast action, and TradeRingers affords me the opportunity to do that as my mentor. You know, by entering the trades and just guiding trading alongside of it, and not getting emotionally attached because TradeRingers making the trades. But I'm doing this to impress upon people that you don't have to. If you like me, and you like action, and you like to watch things move quickly, there is a safe, secure way of doing it in an ultra-conservative way, using small lot sizes and not risking your account in a big way. Now, my drawdown has gotten as high as 30% with my $24,000 account, which is $8,000. And that can get a little bit nerving. But at a $1,000 account, $300, it's the same perspective, right? 30%. But that's on the high end. Right now, I think my drawdown is in the teens, which I think is normal for anybody else running TradeRinger at conservative settings at 0.01 per thousand, right? And that's with large lot size trades, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. So I believe that if you enter a trade with the mindset, when you have the time to watch it, you can't just set it and forget it and walk away. Other than I make sure that I'm in trades overnight when I go to sleep, because I got to sleep, that I'm feeling really good based on what has happened in the market already, that trade will be safe. If it does move in the wrong direction, 40, 50 pips, okay, I'm down 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 150 bucks on that trade. That's okay, because I know it's going to come back. It always does.
Yeah. So this strategy is really a hybrid, guys. It's an EA assisted manual trading strategy, because it is manual, so you do have to be there with it. It's not like walking away from just TradeRinger running itself on conservative settings. So that's awesome.
And I believe if you just use what I'm doing on a smaller scale, if you wanted to, you don't even have to enter in larger lot sizes than what like I'm doing. You can enter, if you set your trades at 0.01 at 1,000, maybe you enter a manual trade at 0.03 in between the levels, right?
Yeah. And
scoop up a few pips, because that's all going to add up, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And if you break it down, if you want to make 100 bucks a day or 200 bucks a day, it's just couple handfuls of trades of $5, $10, $15. So as your account size grows, I have grown my lot sizes. I started out at 0.10, and then I was doing 0.25, and then I was doing 0.35s, and then I've been doing some 0.40s. I jumped up to a 0.50. It went in the wrong direction. I was down $200, and I got out of that. It turned, thank goodness, came back, got out of it, and now I'm settling at about 0.50. So let me share my screen here. Can you see my server?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So here's my account right here. You can see it's live. Ed Zimbardi. It's got 24,000 and change. Oh wow, the drawdown's not in the teens. It's only 8%. Oh my gosh, only 8%. But to a lot of people, $2,000 in the drawdown
makes them uncomfortable.
But that's less than 10%.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much equity in there at 22,000 that if the market moved 100, 200, 300 pips at just about any lot size under 0.5, you're okay, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let me go into properties. Look at that. What does that say?
Yeah, 0.01.
So there it is on the live, and you can see the level range. I actually bumped it up to 40, and I've downed it to 5. I just made that change actually last night. Oh, what else does it say? I'm trading when?
All week.
Every day.
Every day. And I set my goal for what?
100.
That's insane. Well, the reason is because I don't want
You don't
the
want it to
software
shut off.
Right.
Exactly.
And even though I'm not going to, actually get that per day. All right. So that's a quick example. And as of right now, I'm doing 4 currency pairs. And the only reason I'm doing 4 is because of this one here, Euro AUD. I have been in drawdown for that one for quite a while, and I still have open trades, and I want TradeRinger to manage them. And but I haven't been as much drawdown. That has come back since my very first trade.
So normally it would just have the other 3.
So normally I do 3 or 6, right? The 2 rings.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final thing, if I go to account history, down here at the bottom, there we are. Profit is $10,500. Total deposits, $10,000 as well. So I have slowly added money as quickly as I can. So to me, that's about doubling the account, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then if I go all the way up to the top, the first trade was traded when?
May 28th.
And today is, it hasn't even been a month. I've almost doubled the account. I got 2 days left. Let's see if I can double the account.
Yeah.
So doubling the account would be 100%.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Now, I know this works off of 100% weekly goal, but I'm about to do it in a month with this strategy.
Very nice.
All right, so let me go back here and stop the screen share for just a moment. And now let's see if I can bring up my phone.
And so the manual trades you place on your phone?
Yes, I don't do anything on the desktop other than help people get set up their VPSs or set up mine. That's it.
And you're when you're on your phone, you're looking at the 1 minute charts.
Yep, I'm going to show you guys that here right now. Give me 1 second. Any other questions while I'm trying to bring up my phone here? Cut down now.
I don't have any.
Is it simple? Does it make sense?
Yes.
What's the average holding time for your scalping trades? Are we talking 15, 20 minutes? Are we talking an hour?
Great question here. Let's do this. See my screen?
Yeah, my FX book.
So here is my link. So over here it says,
We'll make that link available as well, guys, so that you can track Ed's progress. We'll have it under this video or around this video.
see the average win, 12 pips. 4,000 pips in the 30 days.
You know, people with some experience watching this, some experience with my FX book, look at his profit factor.
Profit
Absolutely insane.
Nice.
Look at your win rates as well. 91% shorts.
Yeah, shorts won, longs won. Best trade was $500. That was nice waking up that morning.
Yeah,
look at the numbers for today, this week, this month. The gains.
Today it's 2% this week, 8% for the week. So pips. Lots.
This month, 129%.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And the broker likes me, I think. They made $1,200 off of me.
Yeah.
Right. But this was updated 1 hour ago. You see the total amount of deposits. Total profits almost getting there. And the balance, equity, the maximum drawdown. This is what people have sent this to, and they go, "Oh, you're at 64% drawdown." No, I'm not. How can I be at 64% drawdown when I'm at? This is the balance, and this is the equity. It's at about 10% drawdown.
Mm-hmm. That's the maximum drawdown that it did hit. That's what.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I do have a question, Ed. TradeRinger, and one of the things that I really love about the software is every single trade it sets a stop loss and a take profit. Now it adjusts them as it moves, but those are in place so that if you have to shut the software off or whatever, each trade has its safety settings in place. So when you are placing these manual trades, are you just observing, or are you setting in take profits and stop losses?
Yep, that's a great question. I am definitely observing. I don't set stop losses because I never lose a trade. Now, I know that's a little bit shocking, but my strategy is, if I ever, and I don't recommend this to anyone, I'm just sharing, you asked me to share my strategy. My strategy, and you can alter it any way you want, anybody could, is that I am prepared financially that if a trade goes in the wrong direction and my account's about to blow, I'm going to add more funds. Why? Because the historical data on currency pairs says that it always turns the other way.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to have enough money. Now, it's going to cost you long term because there's commissions, there's swap fees, and that keeps growing as time goes on. But that just means you need to stay in the trade longer to overcome those expenses until it hits an ultimate profit, and then you close it out, even if it's for $1. Right. So that's just me. So professional traders will say, I'm not a professional trader. And I will always say, you're right, I'm not a professional trader. Because professional traders will set stop loss and be okay with losing trades. And I'm okay with losing trades. TradeRinger closes out losing trades for me when it does its cost averaging, right? It's got deep lot sizes on multiple levels, and the first original levels are small lot sizes, and it swings back. It's swing trading software. It swings back, and it takes all that profit from the swinging back of the larger lot sizes and cost averages it on the smaller lot sizes here, closes it out, but you're profitable, but you show losing trades. That's why my account shows I have losing trades, because TradeRinger loses trades, but it also has won more trades than it lost in the profit side.
Yeah, they're offset and surpassed by the larger lot size when it swings.
True. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen.
Disclaimer, don't try this on a live account for the first time. And if you're not already familiar and comfortable placing manual trades, do not do it until you
And I'm sure, Ed, you'd recommend to have a tangential neighboring trade account with money loaded in there ready to deploy and deposit if needed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what's nice about the broker that we have. You can load funds directly into a wallet and have it sitting there in case you need to transfer it in. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And again, and this isn't, I'm not advocating that you do my strategy because it's, the world's best strategy. You have to have time to be able to monitor your trades. You have to have a strong mindset, and you have to be willing to add funds if necessary, unless you're okay with closing out trades and setting stop losses. And again, you can make any kind of variance of the strategy. Can you guys see my phone?
See your phone, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go into MetaTrader 4. Now look at that. It matched the server. $24,293 equity. Balance equity is a little less. Oh, it just dropped below 2,000. So look at this one trade here. It's a manual trade. I went into it today. It's minus $257. A lot of people would be like, oh, can't do that. But you're not going to find a trade above 0.50. You can see that these Euro AUD trades, this one was started on 6/10, which was 16 days ago. I've got 3 of those. Now TradeRinger has already started going into the buy direction, because if you look at that, it's got the buy trend, and this is the sell counter. And there's 4 levels down on that one, 2 levels down on that one. So in this case, I'm just letting that ride for now, because I had told you earlier, shared with you, I'm going to eventually weed these out. and not use this currency pair. But as we move to Euro JPY, TradeRinger has got its trade 626 at 0.01. It actually did two. There's one from 626, another one 626, and then there's the one that I am trading within the range. I dropped another 0.45, and there's another one 0.45. So let's add it up. 250 plus 108, 250 plus 100 and change. That's 350 and 60. So let's just call it $400 and change. I'm down on this currency pair.
Right.
So my mindset is, look, there's only 15 pips on that trade before it comes back, right? So forget the dollar amount for a second. 15 pips. The currency pair moves constantly all day long, with or without news. So I believe over the next few hours, it's going to come back and turn around for a profit. I just got to overcome that $4.05 charge, right?
So that the first one, what level was it entered in the?
04. So from 04, when I say 04, 122.040.
Yep, 0.4.
So that's my baseline for making that decision there. You can see that it started at 8. So there's 40 pips before I entered that trade. See that?
Yep.
And then I waited.
So you entered did you enter the 0.5 when you seen TradeRinger open the 0.02?
Yeah, it opened up 0.02 and it started coming back. And I knew it was going to drop down again. When I say I know it, it's just because I watch it constantly. That I decided now's my time to make a trade in that range because of the amount of time that when this trade was made, which I think was in the middle of the night, right? You see 0.03 while I was sleeping. It says 3:30 in the morning, right? This one was made at 9 a.m. this morning. It's 0.02.
You made, okay.
So I actually made the trade at 7 a.m. No, it was dropping from 80 or up from 80 to 04. I said that wrong, guys. I'm sorry. Everybody's looking at this recording going, no, Ed, that's 24 pips. The wrong direction. It's 24, not 80 pips, 24 pips. So it's in that range before it hit 0.02 to correct myself, Brian.
Yeah, before it took its second trade.
Correct. Yep. So it's been lingering. Here it is, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, within that range, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's flop back over to the history tab. Look at that. There's a trade that I made, $13. There's a trade that I made
30.
just a little while ago, from this morning to then. When you add those two up, that's $43 I made. How much did TradeRinger make me from level 1 to the second trade? 0. I'm still in those trades.
Right. And you've already opened and closed
2 trades.
2 trades.
And how many pips are you normally trying to grab with those scalping trades?
Yeah, the visual is there on my FX book. It's usually anywhere between 5 to 10, 11 pips. Okay. But you can see here, how many pips was it? And this one was 4. This one was almost 7.
Nice.
Psychologically, I got to get myself in tune with the fact that with a larger lot size, moving the same amount of pips is going to be a larger dollar amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I might as well let it go the full 10 pips because the larger dollar amount will be there instead of just scooping up like in the beginning. I was scooping up $5, $10, $15. Here, you move 7 pips, it was $30. So 14 pips could have been $60, $70.
And have you tested when you place those, just putting in a take profit of 5 pips so that you don't have to constantly monitor it?
No, because it's too much work for me on my fat little thumbs on my phone. And it's moving. I might go in and out of a trade quick. So let's continue down.
So how long are you normally holding them trades?
I only hold them based on dollar amounts, based on the amount of pips that equal a certain dollar amount.
So you're
So
not watching the clock, you're watching the dollar amount, and you're closing it when you want, when you're good.
Exactly. I'm on my phone like I'm scrolling right now,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just sitting here open all day long, unless I jump on Facebook. And I spend more time on Facebook, so why not spend it right here, making money?
I like it. I like it.
Look at
I very much resonate with this strategy because I don't take the time to take profits or stop losses on my trades. I watch what it's doing and I close it when I'm ready to.
Yeah.
That.
So here's Euro USD.
Yeah.
It was made on the 21st. I've been using this as a guide for the last 5 days. I did jump in today, but let's go over here and see if I earned any. Yeah, I have. Look at that. Euro USD, $31 profit. So I have gone back into a trade, but I dropped the lot size to 0.45, but it went up. But it has been trading in this range, and it hasn't been a lot of trade ringer trades, and everybody here who's watching this can validate that. There haven't been very many trades that Trade Ringer has made on Euro USD as, you know, going in the wrong direction as a sell. So why not trade within that range? It's just floating a few pips in and out.
Just to reiterate as well, Ed, you know, people, no matter what account balance they set up their demo to practice this, they do a micro lot, fixed lot size, no matter what the account balance is. But then they don't have to go jump to these numbers you're doing. They could do 0.03, 0.05, 0.1.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I started at 0.10.
Yeah.
So you can start at 0.05, 0.03, 0.07. And it works that way. So continuing on, you can see here USD JPY. When did I make that trade?
31st.
When did I start the account? The 27th, 28th.
Yeah, May 31st.
Right, I already showed earlier in this recording. I started it around the 27th, 28th. Well, obviously, that how could that Trade Ringer trade make a 0.10? Well, it's a level 3. That means Trade Ringer has already closed automatically, has cost average and closed out and hit that stop loss. See the stop loss that's there? Well, there was stop losses on the previous trades that Trade Ringer had, and it has already closed it out because we all know USD JPY ran all the way down to like 106.7, right? $106.70, I think, whatever it was. So it hit stop losses. So those are losses. But let's go down here through the journey. Oh my gosh, what do you see there?
Yeah.
So let's look at this point, this one here. You can see no stop loss, no take profit. When did I make it? Today at 2:30. No, what time was it? Oh, that's based on the server time.
Yeah.
So
2:39 server time. So
yes, which was Bren, your time. So I made it a few hours ago.
Yeah.
So it's at $51. Now look at that one. That's a level 4 trade at 0.41. This is because this currency pair started at a higher lot size when I started. These new trades up here are, I started the strategy off wrong in this live account the very first week. That's why I ended up all messed up here. But you can see I corrected it with these because the lot sizes are 0.01, and you saw my account. But down here, so what I will do is, I haven't been watching the market lately today as much because I've been, you know, with you guys and doing a few other things. But $50 is $50. Why not? Well, let me see what my history is for today. $602 profit for the day. See that? And you can see Trade Ringer has already closed out 2 losses. Look at that.
Yep.
That's not me. It took a win there, but it took a profit there. See, $18. So 18 plus the dollars, 19 and change, far outweighs the 11. So I made $7. But that's Trade Ringer. So if I was watching it, but I've been on with you guys. So if I go back here, well, I just lost $4 there. So I'm making money there. I just close it out.
I was just thinking there, Ed, when you're using Trade Ringer as a guide, when a person's watching this video, the company may have actually reintroduced the ability to adjust Zimbardi. So when you're only using it as a guide, if you set the Zimbardi to 1.2 or something, even the 12th trade then is going to be very minimal lot size. You're not
Correct.
going to be eating into your equity or margin.
I agree. So looking at a few others here, 0.35, I've been in this one for 6 days. 0.41, this one's been in for 5 days, and it's finally turning around. This one, I accidentally made the lot size 0.06. As you can see, I made it today because I was playing around with the demo account, and when you switch over, it keeps your lot size the same, and I didn't pay attention. So on a choice here, either close it out, it's $8 minus 54 cents, so $7 and change. It's money, right?
Yeah.
You can let it sit, but when I scroll up top and I'm looking at my margin level at 1989, plenty of free margin. Yes, there's a lot of trades, guys. Yes, there's a lot of trades, but I don't care about the length. What I care about is the margin and the equity to handle it. And right now, at $1,900 in drawdown, I'm just under 10%. So I'm anybody else's account who's in drawdown at less than 10% should be happy. So from the pro traders out there that criticize me a lot for doing this carelessly, as they say, I want to fair warn everyone, this is not for everyone. These are my results. Your results may be different. Your mindset is definitely be different from my mindset. So test this on demo while you're running a live account with the regular settings. I think I should just close out this trade here. It's dropping a little bit. And then we go to the charts. There we are. So there's the USDJPY chart. You can see it's on the minute. That's all. And then I never leave the chart like that. I always expand it all the way so I can see those candles. I look at the RSI down below, and I make my decisions as scalp based off of that. I'll come back here. Now let's go back up top here to this particular Euro AUD. Go to the chart, and it's still it's in the low range since I'm mostly overdrawn in a sell, and it's in the low end of the RSI and hovering, and has been, as you can see, went up a little bit. This isn't moving much, so I'm not going to place a trade for it to go down. I'll just wait it out. Then I'll check out the JPY, Euro JPY chart. And this one's starting to come down, but I am in the sells. Okay, but I'm in a couple of bigger lot size sells, so I'm going to not make any trades there. And then I look at, well, how much did I make for the day? 652. That far exceeds my goal, so I'll just, I'll leave it. If I hit on custom and I go to, yesterday.
Ed, will there be any merit in a strategy that might be slightly more conservative with this, in waiting until TradeRinger, let's say, places the third or fourth counter trade before you decide to place a manual one of a larger lot size, if it did increase the likelihood of a retrace?
Not sure I quite followed you there. Say that one more time.
So only placing your own manual trade when TradeRinger has already placed, let's say, 3 or 4 of its own cost average trades, or to increase the likelihood of a retrace and a rebound in the market? Or are you simply just utilizing the float in between the level ranges?
The flow here, it's flowing on RSI back and forth, is what I'm using as a guide along with TradeRinger.
Yeah, it's just more granular, diving into your actual strategy of when you actually entered the trade. I mean, the timing of it, I think, is what I mean. So you see Euro, let's say your USD JPY has placed a third cost average trade. Is that when you go in? Do you go over to the minute chart? You look at the RSI?
No, when it places the trade here, for instance, yeah, I'll let it drop anywhere minimum 5 pips, could be 10, 15 pips when I notice it, okay, and then I'll drop it. Gotcha. I won't do it right at the same level.
Okay.
Because I know it's moving. That's why I took the trade, and it moved to hit that trade, right?
Yeah.
Trade ringer, because software is set to go, in my case now, 40 pips before it opens up. That's a pretty big drop. So I know it's going to drop a little bit more, so I'll wait another 5 pips, 10 pips, and then I'll enter a trade.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
As we can see here, since we've been on, this Euro USD sell at 0.40, it's not quite in profit for me because I got a minus $4.05, but I'll keep an eye on it. And when it hits, it's got to go down to this at some point in time. I know pro traders say, no, it doesn't have to. It may not ever. No, it will down the road. Maybe it takes years. I've been to the historical charts, and currency swings. It may take some time. I just got to make sure I keep enough in the account. But at the same time, I'm scalping, right? When it goes into the profit, I'm scalping. So this particular trade has been open for a little while. I've covered my swap fee at $1.32 and the original cost commission at $3.15. Subtract that, that's $4 and change. That means if I close it right now, I make 20 bucks, right? All right. Well, it's not moving much. Why not? Oops.
Grab the profit.
Did I grab it? Yeah, I grabbed it right there. So now I'm up to $675 for the day.
I like it.
And $11,000 for the month. So I'm getting close to doubling the money. And the past week is only $5,300. So that's all I do. I just sit here and watch it. Now, the other thing that I want to share with everyone here is to take notice at this particular trade, USDJPY. It entered at 107.700. It's up 78 pips. If I were to close this trade and it drops back down to 107,700, it's going to open up a trade again at that level 4. So at any time, I may make the decision to manually close out a trade ringer trade before it gets to this level. Where is it? What level was it? You can see these other trades I have. This one. It's going to, see where it says take profit 108,483?
Yes.
Look at the take profit on that trade, 108.43, because it's doing its cost averaging. It's saying that this trade, 0.41, when it drops down and hits 108, or drops down, it's got to go back up, 108.483. This trade that TradeRinger made and this trade that TradeRinger made are going to both close out at the same take profit, right? Well, instead of watching paint dry, as I like to say, with TradeRinger at 0.41, is it's making good profit, and the trend is it's going all the way up. If I'm watching this chart, and it's just going up and up and up and up on its way, and I see a decent amount of profit here, I may just go and close this. Because when it reverses, which it does, right? It floats back and forth. It may come back down. It will replace it. That's the keyword I was looking for, Brent. It definitely will replace it. So instead of letting TradeRinger just run on its own, we have the power with this EA to close out trades when we are comfortable with the amount of profit, and it won't affect TradeRinger's settings. TradeRinger will adjust its settings and make another entry.
Right.
Yeah.
So why not scoop up the profits? Instead of waiting for it to go back to the next level and close out the trades, close it. Now, I know professional traders will say, well, TradeRinger is smart. It's going to go ahead and close out all those negative trades combined with your positive trades. And I said, yes, that is correct. But what if it closed it out and then a few hours later it opens up another trades and the whole cycle starts again and you lost all those losing trades for TradeRinger and it's right back into doing its thing again, which it will do, right?
It will do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so why not just close out trades and keep the old ones that are in losing territory in the TradeRinger? It'll manually adjust when it makes new re-entry trades. to the stop loss and to the take profit.
Right.
So it's like I'm never going to close out a trade ringer trade in a loss. I'll let it close it out like it just did. I showed you it closed these out right here. Right? It closed those out because I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't monitoring it. I do have a life. I do other things. But you can see, look at all the different profits. How much are the profits, guys?
Yeah, that's nice.
Small, little trades. And look how many trades. And the ones that are losers are just a couple combined with a few profits from TradeRinger, but all the rest of the trades are me manually trading. And look at the amounts. So that's my strategy. Anything else I want to cover here on my phone? Or are we good?
I think we're good.
That's clear, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Is it a perfect strategy? No. But it's perfect for me and my lifestyle and my trading, my mindset. But I think the moral of this whole thing that we covered is, number one, don't just let TradeRinger do everything for you. If you want more out of TradeRinger, there's so much more you can get out of TradeRinger than just set it and forget it. And if you're out there promoting TradeRinger as a set it and forget it, that's the wrong message, because you are in total control. As I just demonstrated, from my settings on my VPS to how I'm actively engaged in all the different trades, and using TradeRinger as a mentor, I trade with it, not against it. I have to have a little bit of patience in between the ranges. I've extended my ranges to lower my risk of when TradeRinger opens up trades, and I've lowered my fixed lot sizes with TradeRinger to keep my drawdown lower, so that gives me more equity in my account to make those manual trades at a higher amount. And as I just demonstrated on 3 or 4 different currency pairs, I don't have a lot of open trades that are my personal trades per currency pair. So I will never get, at this point in time, I do have a larger account, so I'm more comfortable in saying this, but I will never blow my account if I keep doing it exactly the way that I'm doing it. And I just showed the results of today, of yesterday, for the week, and for the month, that the profit is there if you learn how to use the software in a way like this and get the right mindset from our director of education, like Steve Greger teaches, and do everything you possibly can to be engaged with your software instead of just setting and forget it. Now, for those of you that don't have much time because you have, a job or you're driving a truck or whatever, you can't do it during that time. But there is time that you can do it. Figure that out, because if you can put a little bit of time in, I think based on my profits and the size of the account that I started with, you can leave that cotton picking job at some point in time in the future based on the profits I'm getting.
You can change that.
10,000 in a month, I think, would get just about anybody who has a full-time job who's sick and tired of being sick and tired to figure this out. Because if I could figure it out in less than 2 months, just over a month on demo and now almost a month trading live, isn't it worth it? So,
and the eaconomy suite of products kind of give, I know by what you were saying in previous conversations we had, it kind of give you a track to run on as well in terms of forex, because up to that point, it was kind of meandering to lock in on an actual, strategy or something you could utilize day to day. And it got you passionate about forex again as well.
It has, and even though I've lost over 300 grand in the last 3 years,
yeah,
which would freeze up anybody, I've got more excitement than I did 3 years ago when I got introduced to a different platform with different software, because I never had these kind of results. And I'm not making trades on my own. Now I say, well, hey, you just made trades on your own. No, I'm making trades based off of TradeRinger.
Right.
yeah.
Which is more intelligent than me in Forex, because it's been programmed by programmers who have much more experience than me.
So in other words, you're not having to stare at the charts and analyze what's going on with the entire market to choose your entry point. Your entry point is right in front of you, and you're just making the choice of timing and lot size, right?
You're using Trade Ringer to predict market direction for you.
Bingo, you said it perfect there. Now I can't wait to get involved with Trade Compass and learn how to read the charts and the wedges, and learn from Steve as well and get on his training. So imagine, if you will, who's watching this, you do something like this, or a blend, a hybrid of what I'm doing. Come up with your own strategy. You don't have to copy mine, and utilize Trade Compass. You can get out of your job. So you really have to think like this. You have to have the mindset of looking at yourself in the mirror and take a look at your life and say, if what you just saw here is a gateway to leave your job, and with what we have with economy with Trade Compass, combination of it, can you reschedule your time? Because your time broke right now. Can you reschedule your time in one way, shape, or form? You can put just 30 minutes a day in, an hour a day in, something. Would it be worth it over the next 90 days to be able to do something like this, so that you can walk in to your boss, his office, and take your glasses off and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, boss. I'm really having a hard time seeing myself staying here any longer." Because it's possible. I have no trading experience other than I'm a signals guy. Send me signals, I know how to place the trades. I don't know how to read the charts like I should at this point in time. So if I can do this, can't you?
Absolutely.
I think that's the perfect note to end on there. Ed,
One more quick final thing. One more quick final thing. The entire suite of products right now, as of this recording with economy, is $247. You've already made an investment, probably at $197 if you were part of our promo. The 30-day mark's up, and most people are getting renewal notices. It's $169. Do you think I'm concerned about making my $169 payment? There's no way you should either, if you took a blend of the strategy, or even put enough money in your account and were so busy you just had to let Trade Ringer run its thing, and you set your weekly goal at 3 or 5% or 7%. We have something special here in front of us. That's why I'm shouting from the rooftops. Susan's shouting from the rooftops. Bren is shouting from the rooftops to provide this to you guys so that you can see the big picture and stay with it. Give us 90 solid days of a concentrated effort, even if it's 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours a day, plugging in here, and you will be a customer for life. And you'll change the financial trajectory of your family's future if you put in just a little bit of time. The tools make it so easy for you to cover the $169 a month. Is it guaranteed? No. But it's guaranteed not to work for you if you don't put any effort in. So give your chance a chance and stay with it. So Susan, Bren, I really appreciate your time. Hope I was able to share some stuff to help a lot of people on your team.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
really
Ed.
appreciate it, Ed, and your time. Thanks very much, man. Appreciate it a lot. Hope you guys got a ton of value from that. I'm sure you did, and let's go out there and make it happen. Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome.